All right. This is a live event that we are on. All right, cool. All right. This is it. Let me pause that so we don't echo. All right, man. Well, today we'd like to just talk to you, whoever's watching this video. Hopefully you're a small business owner, checking out a little bit of SEO basics here and there, and looking at stuff to kind of just implement on your website on, you know, just how you're going to basically beat out that next competitor. Or maybe maybe you just built a website and you don't know what to do next. You know, you spent $5,000, $10,000, maybe even $25,000 on your website, and you don't have any traffic yet. And as we say in head flood marketing, without let's see, what do we say? Without traffic, your website sucks. And that is the hard truth about digital. The whole digital space is that as beautiful and glamorous and awesome things may look, without traffic and traffic that converts, it's just not going to pay off. It just sucks. So Matt and I just figured that we'd just jump on today and talk about just some basic things that we've been doing lately that has helped improve some of the clients and projects that we manage. We both, Matt and I, currently manage quite a few projects weekly, and we love SEO. We've both been in SEO for a really long time, long enough to grow some wrinkles on our heads, and you know. So, hey, you know, Matt, you know what I noticed this week is the local businesses near me. I mean, I didn't notice it. Obviously, we've noticed this for a while, but I didn't realize the monstrosity, if that's the right word, of local business, the near me searches being like actually almost to the point where it's become not really an issue, but something that Google's having to address, like with their proximity and things. Like people are literally like local business near me, 8,100 searches. But check this out. So that's pretty small, but near me food. So check this out, near me food. So instead of people saying like restaurants near me, or best restaurants in Redding, California, best restaurants in San Francisco, or wherever it might be, people are saying near me food. 7,480,000 searches.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
is that the so what would you do with that? Should you put near me in the content? Should you put it in the title? I remember John Mueller was saying, some girl asked him that, and he said there's nothing wrong with putting in the title, but mostly like have whatever your geolocation is, that you should put that within the content. And I'm sure he would recommend the footer and the contact page, you know, and schema for sure. Have it in the structured data code. So I think those three things should, you know, RankBrain should be able to translate near me to those geolocation, like, but I don't know if there's any harm in putting like near me still in the content. I don't know if it would. I mean, it's worth a try. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. So unless it's spammy looking or something. So,
yeah, I think you can avoid a little bit of spam by just saying looking for food, or you could say like, did you search for food near me? We have a great menu, you know, things like that. Or another one was like near me apartments for rent, you know, a guy renting out apartments. You know, the thing is like you could probably get away with it and like actually outrank your competitors now, because there are not, I would say probably a small, very, very small percentage, like maybe 5 people are actually optimizing the actual pages for the near me queries because it's so fresh. But if like any old small business owner, if you're a small business owner watching this, you can literally just go right into your page that's got content on it, talk about the area that you live in a bit. Matt was mentioning schema and things like that might be overwhelming as a business owner, but as a business owner, you can literally like just get into the page that's talking about the apartments that you have for rent, and right up there, just in big bold, just say, "Did you search for an apartment near me?" with a question mark. And what will happen is depending on what CMS that you're on, it'll probably register that as a H1 or H2. If it's the header, but to you, from a styling point, it'll make it look kind of like a title, and that'll actually probably give you a nice little boost over your competitors for now. As people start catching on to it and stuff, there will probably be ads start pulling in for those near me queries. There'll be a lot of SEO starting to catch on this year, especially in the latter part of this year, starting to optimize pages for that. But as a business owner, just being able to log into your website and doing, just some basic elements of near me, to feed off those queries. Just make sure you talk about the area that you're located in. Maybe give a zip code. Probably be the best thing to do.
Yeah, I would include a map, depending on how easy it is for your CMS to add a map. You can go to Google Maps and go to your physical address, and if you follow a pathway, you can get an embed. Well, yeah, trying to not make this complicated for just like, because I think that's kind of our hearts, just not to talk to SEOs, not to talk to technical people, talk to non-technical people, and talk to our business owners, not just
small business owners, yeah.
Not just small business owners, but even mid-level business owners.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess most mid-level business owners know some tech.
Yeah.
Unless they have an inheritance or something.
So that's that. Another thing that should be just a given for any local business owner, any website owner, is if your website is not mobile responsive, it needs to be. This is like 2016 information, but it's 2018 now. If you don't have a website that's mobile friendly, that doesn't respond in a really quick way, let me just share my screen real quick on how to basically get your website to see what it looks like on a mobile. Income is or not mobile income, but mobile mobile responsive is to basically
that will give you income.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hopefully.
So let me share this. Can you guys? Yeah. Okay. So let's just say this is your website. All you do right here, if you're on a PC, I'm not 100% sure what it would look like on a Mac, but I'm going to right click on my mouse. It's going to show me this, and then I'm going to go to inspect. Once you go to inspect, and you have to be in a Chrome browser. Once you go to inspect, you just go right here, and all you got to do is just click right here, and it'll show you all the different font sizes, common font sizes. You can also just click on responsive and just see what your website looks like from a responsive level. And that is probably the quickest way to see like if your website is in fact mobile friendly or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something I've been learning with even information architecture, just having your brand and having your website or your application just look great on every single context, whether it's mobile, your website, applications, whatever you have. Just that if it looks bad, it's going to look bad to the user, then it's going to make your website suffer and your ranking suffer. I mean, not your website suffer, but yeah, your website suffer. Your UX, the UX to your website, user experience of your website will look really bad. And
absolutely. So, yeah, if you're, basically, if you own a website, you have to, it takes time to figure out what your target audience is. It took Matt and I many years, try to figure out, you know, are we publishing content for other SEOs to read about, or are we publishing content for small business owners to read about? And we still catch ourselves. In fact, just earlier today, we caught ourselves just trying to publish something, and we were talking to SEOs, and we were like, what are we doing? No, we're not talking to SEOs. We're talking to business owners that are trying to maybe do a bit of SEO themselves, or they have an in-house somebody and they want to double check and make sure that in-house knows what they're doing. We're your guys. We're the guys that you can trust, that you can ask questions. As we continue these SEO hangouts, hopefully we'll get more people watching them, and we can have like live examples and case studies and things like that. Maybe we'll even do some live audits on the fly for people, because our heart is to help business owners. Speaking of helping people who list, what I've noticed, Matt, I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you list your business as open for 24 hours, it gives you a bit of a ranking boost in Google My Business.
If you list it's open for 24 hours? Oh, it gives you a boost. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I never even thought about that. Okay.
Yeah, it gives you just a tiny bit of edge, especially like on those off hours and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if you're like, say you're like a pharmaceutical company, and some of the pharmaceutical companies like in town, like Target, is only open from like 10 to 10 p.m., 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then you'll have Walgreens that's open 24 hours. So probably give you the edge to be open that long. But yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I know one of our clients, Lucky, as soon as he added those, and then the second major thing that we did was we hired an official Google photographer. And as soon as we did that, and we just did a couple of small tweaks on his GMB. And then the third thing I would say that is probably a heavy ranking factor are relevant reviews from people that are leaving reviews. And when I say relevant reviews, there's an algorithm that will actually pick up what people are saying inside of the reviews to pull them, to pull that business up in search. And so if you have, let's say, a vacation rental, and somebody's saying, we hired so-and-so to look for a place for us, it's gonna have a lot less effect if the reviewer says, we hired so-and-so to get us a vacation rental in Montana, or a vacation rental in San Francisco, vacation. And if you say those specific queries, it'll actually help give you a ranking boost based on the user search. Remember, everything's user search. So
yeah, so having those keywords in there, and probably like semantic kind of keywords, associated keywords. And yeah, I sorry, I thought that was kind of funny because I didn't know if you remember the vacation rental client we had.
Just got a bad review.
2 really bad reviews.
Oh, 2 of them now.
2. Oh. They were obviously like related to each other.
Oh man, so that's gonna hurt them really bad. Like what that business owner needs to do right away, and I'll email her just so she knows. I know that she's not our client anymore, but nevertheless, once a client, always a client. And by the way, it's not that she canceled because we did a poor job. It's just she canceled because we did an amazing job, and they ranked for the keywords that they wanted to in the top snack pack of maps. Snack pack is the top 3 in maps, and we got them showing up really, really well for a lot of different queries. But I'll have to email her and just let her know that the first and foremost thing that she needs to do is make sure that she fires and leaves those people that she was that she contracted out to host that Airbnb or that rental. Number one, that would be the first thing I would do, because it sounded like those people were freaks, right? It had nothing to do with the actual company that was renting the vacation rental management. It had nothing to do with that. It was actually the people that lived next door that were the freaks in the first place. And it seemed like they were.
Yeah, you never know. It sounded like getting a little echo here, but it kind of sounded like the people might have been a little bit crazy themselves, and it might have been, but also the owner of the place might have been. I don't know. It might have been both. Who knows?
Sure.
You never know what's happening online, but
yeah.
Well, you know, I would also recommend that she
replies.
Increases. I don't even know if she should reply.
No, she should.
Well, on Yelp, I would say never reply to these crazy people. But I don't know about Google. Maybe that would be better. But I would just offer incentives, do whatever you can to get new reviews. Once you get 5 more positive reviews, then that starts minimizing the crappy reviews. It's everybody gets crappy reviews and they know it, but once those are fresh, horrible reviews and they're pretty thorough, it's like,
Well, like my point is, like, I would just go disconnect my relationship with the people that gave the issues in the first place.
I totally agree. I'm just saying on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then right after that, I'd reply and say, I'm so sorry that this happened. We no longer are associated with that particular person and that location.
Yeah.
And that way you disconnect yourself with that person as a company, as a legitimate company. And then you say, we'd like to offer you a free stay next time you come. Like right there, public. That way the whole, anybody researching their company and looking for vacations, vacation rentals in Montana, they're gonna see that and they're gonna be like, wow, that's crazy. So number one, this company, like, I mean, it'll just calculate in a good, I can't articulate my words right now, but it'll just make sense to the person researching that company, and then and then like you say, get more reviews to bury those negative ones, and hopefully those people, if they're good human beings, after the mess has been cleaned up, to go back and re-edit the review and bump it from 1 star back up to 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I would carefully look at the review, and they seem like legitimate people. I wouldn't. I guess the problem with responding to reviews is you verify what they're saying is true, and that can kind of look bad on you and come back on you. But in this case, it seemed like it's pretty legitimate what was happening. But we had some bad reviews from people that didn't even have our services, and you're like, what? Remember that a long time ago when it was just
I do,
crazy classroom or something?
I do, but actually, I did actually reply to that person, and it was actually my reply that got that review.
Oh, that's true. Never mind, bad example. That was actually good. Yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean though. Like sometimes people do that on Facebook. They say, "Oh, we're sorry," and they're just apologizing, and then they just legitimize everything they said, and I guess it's just like you got to be kind of careful with that.
Yeah, I mean that's between, that's your, I mean I would say that, like, if I'm a business owner, even if, because you gotta think in the mindset of the shopper. They're like, oh, this person left a bad review, it must be true, no matter what. So whether or not the business owner replies to that, I don't think it changes the mind of a shopper that it's legitimate or not. Like, it's still a negative review in the mind of a shopper. So if that business owner replies to it, and the business owner is like, has proper etiquette, they're offering to clean up their mess, they're offering a free stay or a free product, Like if you clean up your mess with the 1, 2, 3 point, you know, amazing over the top service, like, hey, you know what? Even if you're wrong, like people make mistakes all day long. Small businesses, they make mistakes, and so if you screw up and somebody leaves you a negative review, it's your job not to ignore it. It's your job to address the issue and clean it up. And if it has to be in front of the public, so be it. You know, and if you clean it up, especially if you clean it up in front of the public, who's gonna look good in the end? The person complaining, or the business owner that said, "Oh my gosh, you're so right. We totally messed up. Let me offer you a free product. In fact, let me give you a coupon for $10 off on your next order and a free product. And I'm really sorry that this happened. I spoke to my quality control department. We're going to make sure that that stuff that never happens again." You know, and then when the next shopper sees it, they're like, well, this is one review out of 20, or this is one review out of 10, you know, 1,000. And look at the business owner. They're trying to clean up their mess. How freaking amazing is that? Like, that's my psychological process that goes through when I.
Yeah, you got me turned around on that. I guess I've just seen I've seen some people. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It just seems like
no, I do know what you're talking about.
Bitter and angry about something, and it's not even legitimate. And then the owner's just like, "Oh, we're sorry," and just like such a, you know, they're acting like babies about it, like they're so fearful of these bad reviews that they're. But yeah, I could kind of see if they're messed up, but I guess I just mean like something just like totally irrational, crazy person. But I don't know what.
Yeah. Well,
I think you're mostly right. I think you're like 95% right. I've just seen some business owners in the reviews just cater to that, and it just kind of like, I don't know. And it kind of legitimizes. It says like what this crazy person had. Like if I read a review, the review would not be legitimate at all. I'd be like, this is, you know, I'd be questionable.
I would say that I have seen that, and I agree. Like especially like on products on Amazon. Like Amazon is notorious for having artificial, knockoff, piece of shit products that are just piece of shit. And you'll have people complaining, and then the company owner will come in there and they'll reply to the comments, and they'll be like, "Oh, our product doesn't carry that kind of da da da," or they just dig themselves in a hole even worse. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
And sometimes they have great customer service. They're trying to fix it, da da da. But the bottom line is their product is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So that
if your product sucks, then
yeah, if your product
sucks anyway, huh?
If your product or service sucks, then don't reply to the review. If your product or service doesn't suck, reply to the review and clean up your mess.
Yeah. Good rule. Good rule. Yeah. Just don't have a product or service that sucks.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what else? The thing I've seen a lot this year that's been helping as far as like on-page SEO is interlinking. Just interlinking through the main content. And if you're a business owner, you don't know what interlinking is, it just means you link from one page to another on the website, not anything off of the website. So you're connecting all those pages, and the more links you give to a certain page, it kind of acts like votes, and it builds up that page. But so that's one common thing that I see is that a lot of people link to a contact page. So they're pretty much telling Google the contact page is the most important page, because that's what they're mainly linking to, because it's just instinctive, you know. Or they're linking to the About Me page or something like that. but they're not linking to their core, their services or their product pages. Those are the most important pages to rank. So just finding this year, like doing that a lot, I've seen big increases. Like the one that we have, the Sacramento business, what is it? The Sacramento Auto Shop.
Oh yeah,
that one
the
just
European Auto Shop.
Yeah, I did some crazy interlinking with that, and
dude,
it's ranking for some pretty hard terms on very low content.
Yeah, they're ranking really, really well, and not just for like BMW repair, but like Ferrari repair, European repair, like all kinds of different
Land Rover. That was a big one.
I mean, they're ranking #1 for like a lot of those. So yeah, that's good stuff right there, man.
So yeah, and I guarantee it's just interlinking. That's boosting.
Yeah, and so
they weren't on the map at all.
Let me just show somebody what that exactly means here. So let's say you own a site. I've got this is basically like a silo here. This white label SEO, and we just kind of launched this site. It'd been kind of sitting on a dead stick for many years, and we decided to kind of put some attention back into the site. And so we have this silo here. It's like white label SEO. But we also have all these like other pages within this silo. Let's say I'm just in here. This is a Squarespace site. If you're familiar with any of the CMSs, Squarespace is actually a really good CMS if you're just not wanting to grow into a Fortune 500 company and do anything like that's extreme custom. Squarespace is a very good CMS. Would you agree, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, WordPress is better, but WordPress takes like 3 times longer. So
exactly.
To cut costs, it's worth it. We've learned that the hard way, that it's way more worth it to have Squarespace.
Yep. And especially if you're not wanting to hire, outsource or have somebody constantly maintain plugins and updates, theme updates, and worry about security issues and hosting issues and all this stuff that arises with WordPress. You pay to get you have to pay for WordPress. It costs more, it takes more time. If you're looking for something a little bit more streamlined, if you're not, heavy into like massive customization and things like that, then Squarespace is definitely a great CMS. So we built this particular website of ours on Squarespace. And let's just say we want to interlink, okay? So let's go to this audit page, which is what I'm on right now. And what you're going to want to do is, as far as an interlinking, this particular page is in this silo. And so initially I'd like to link up to here, you can link up to any one of these pages. But right now I'm going to link from this page into the white label SEO. And so I would just basically find content that would make sense to link into white label SEO. And so we go here and, maybe I might not find something that might be totally relevant to white label SEO, but I know I could find something that makes sense to link to on-page SEO. So I'd just go in here and I'd basically look at what this content says, and I could just look at anything in here: SEO audit, blueprint layout, scope of work. This is great. Excuse me, I got my dog barking in the background here. We're on page. So right here, on page. On page might be a good link right there. I could link from here back into this page here, on page SEO. So that would be a specific way of doing it. It's just, and you're just doing it internally. I don't need to give you a Squarespace tutorial right now, but that's basically what Matt's doing. I guess I could have showed you without logging into Squarespace, but that's basically.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and I would just say too that it's really effective if you link to your most popular page the most, and then you have a lot of variables to your linking. Like you you want to just link, you would link on one page, on page, you link on another page, on page SEO, another page, on page search engine optimization, or just SEO. So it just varies throughout the site. So there's so it's not just all on page SEO, on page SEO, on page SEO. Because that's one thing Google really loves is variables of content and keeping that original, and users love that too. I mean, everything
Absolutely.
uniform is really boring. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Let me let me pull up an example of what Matt was just talking about, specifically for small businesses. Let me just pull up a site that I was looking at today. I was kind of evaluating today what they're going to need. So let's just do a review on that. Just a small, tiny interlinking style review, and then we'll call it. So can you see the screen here?
yeah.
Yeah. So this is RAS Contractors, local contractors, a general contractor. And he's got all these services here. So let's just see right here. So what I saw here, see our work. Just look here. About us. Let me click on. I saw a page here earlier. Let me check here. Our partners. Oh, our specialties. Maybe those are specialties. Okay, so right here. You see how on this page right here, our history, /our history, we've got, and then they kind of go in and say, we specialize in septic systems. That would be a great place to link to septic systems, which right here, precast. So you don't want to link, you would want to link this right here over here to this page, this URL. And then taking it one step further, like Matt was saying, like you have SEO, you have technical SEO, you have technical SEO, you have schema, things like that. Right here, this is an opportunity for this business owner to grab so much more traffic if they actually built a landing page, a designated landing page on precast septic tank manufacturing and sales. Boom, you click on that, opens up a brand new land page, and it describes what precast septic tank manufacturing is.
Yeah.
And if you do that, and then once you get to that landing page, it links back to this page. It also links to this page. Well, no, you wouldn't want to link to that page. It's just our history. It doesn't really make sense to have all these here on our history in the first place. But the point is you're wanting to interlink and flesh out the content, especially when you have terms like this that people have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and that's and that's the difference between them. You're always interlinking. You're not linking on the sidebar. You're not linking. It's not the links on the nav, the main navigation. So it's just within the content. And like what you're describing is like a silo, right?
In a sense, I'm kind of bleeding into a little bit of silo thinking mentality.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we want business owners to not just have a website just kind of, just like when you walk into a house, you have the kitchen. In the kitchen, you have the utensils, the pots and pans. You have the cups and the dishes and everything that's in the kitchen. When you walk into your bedroom, you have your clothes, your closet, your beds, and things that are in the bedroom. And so you want to think about your website like how when you walk into a house, what does an organized house look like? How do you find things? So if somebody's going to walk into the house for the first time ever, you want them to be able to find the forks. It's going to be in the kitchen. It's not supposed to be in the bathroom. Your forks are not supposed to be in the bathroom.
So yeah, that's why I get so much into information architecture, because of like having those silos. Well, maybe we should describe what a silo is. A silo is basically like a category on a website, and you use interlinking to keep that category together. And then you also have a URL structure that lays out that. So if you had something about coffee, then you would have pages about like organic coffee, beans, French, presses or whatever, products, everything under that coffee. And then you would have another silo that would be about, I don't know, some other kind of drink or something. I'm kind of at a loss right now.
No,
But,
absolutely.
yeah. So you create this like weird like ecosystem of links in just like this categories, and you're just linking them all together. But that's the one big thing that we found with like our major clients is not having that. It's like it's a waste of time if you don't have a silos in there. So, but
yep,
yeah,
it's good stuff.
So yeah, that's what I would say. If you have a small website and you don't have a lot of content, I would just interlink everywhere. And if you don't have silos, it's not structured well, and you don't have a lot of time. But
true. I mean, at least it's like, again, going back to the house example. If I can't find the forks in the kitchen, at least tell me on a map or within the kitchen where the forks are.
Right.
So if you're a small business owner, and you don't really, if the whole silo method or if it's too late to structure and you don't have the budget to afford an SEO to restructure your website properly so you don't lose all your traffic. If you don't have all those things in place and you just want to communicate a little bit better and let people know, hey, this little technical term that I'm talking about is over here, and you're just linking to it so people can, you got people, over half of your traffic's on mobile. And so you can have people who just want to kind of click on it. When you're on mobile, you're in this tiny little window like this. You got everything's right here, and you got one little thing right there to click on to see in your main navigation. And if it's not in your main navigation, then it should be interlinked appropriately with the content.
Yeah. And the other thing, it decreases bounce rates. And that's like another user metric that Google uses to rank sites, So if you go on and you bounce right off, you click off, you don't go click on a link or something. A lot of users click on links.
Absolutely.
And,
it's good.
Yeah. So it's just all around a great idea.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Matt, for joining the SEO talks today. I appreciate that. This is Matt and Josh from Head Fund Marketing or Branding FM. One of the two. we have a hybrid-based model.
Yeah.
Works really well for us. So, all right, we'll see you hopefully next week. If we're too busy next week, then a week after that. And thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. Sweet.
See ya.
See ya.